Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video Second Esdras. Give me a second here. Second Esdras Chapter 15 is at the door. Second Esdras 15 and 16 go hand in hand with Jeremiah 30 verse 7, and which speaks about, which actually mentions Jacob's trouble in Daniel chapter 12. You can start from the first verse, really the first verse, and that's when we're going to get delivered. But this is the beginning stages of that prophecy, Jacob's trouble. Doesn't mean that we're going to be delivered anytime soon, because the mark of the beast has to be administered throughout the whole planet Earth. The majority of the people will get it, and then the end will come. And the gospel's already out. This gospel shall be preached throughout the whole world, and then the end shall come. Now I want to do something, so let me do this. Okay, this is Full Spectrum Survival, and I listen to him. I actually subscribe to him. You know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute here. Matthew. I was watching a video that Apostle Gabar did last night, and he was going into the video that I did. What was it? Why will you want to go west? Sail west, which is based off the movie 1492 Conquest of Paradise. And he missed something. The point of the video was to say that when the character that played Depardieu, French actor, he played Christopher Columbus. He was speaking to the priest, and he said there's two ways to get to the other side. Did he say India? I believe he did say that, word for word. But he was talking about, going westbound from Spain. It was set in Spain. He wasn't an Italian. The Italians celebrate. He was a Spaniard. He wasn't Italian. He was a small hat too. But anyway, the point I was making in that video, in the movie clip, was there's two ways to go. You can go around Africa. There was another way, and he said, and there's a third way, which no one ever in Europe ever tried to go, because they said it was considered infinite. There's no end to that way. He said go over the ocean. He was talking about Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean touches Europe, Spain, Africa, and the Americas. And so that's the point I was getting at. Not the fact that he mentioned Esdras, but he did mention Esdras too. But he said that journey, he said he estimated to take about a year. Now the scriptures say a year and a half. So I just wanted to cover that, because when I saw the movie, I didn't pick up on that. He did mention Esdras, but he did mention how long it might take, because he never went. He never went there. He had a theory that to get to that land is going to take about a year, but it actually took a year and a half, pursuant to Kings. Solomon's Navy. I went through that last night, and also Second Esdras 13, 40 on down. Okay. Yeah, he was always Apostle Gabar was always also going into James Dare, History of the American Indians, and he went to the chat, and chat told the truth. Yeah, this guy James Adair traded with the American Indians, and he came to the conclusion that these had to be the Israelites. So the truth is coming out, man. You know, you people, you smart hats that lawyer up and it ain't working. The truth will prevail. Anyway, let me just do this. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. The end of the age. Let me pull out some words. You know what? Let me do this. This is 14. Let me do this. See, pre-YouTube, World Wide Web, this gospel couldn't be preached throughout all the world. What opened this thing up was the YouTube, especially the YouTube, like I said, the World Wide Web. And it opened it up with GMS, and other camps followed suit. And we were the first camp to go live on. We was on Ustream. Now you got to pay for that service, and then we went on YouTube now. IUIC and IUCPK. I believe they were doing like pre-recordings. Matter of fact, I know IUIC was. Then he started going live. So they're following our lead. So let's go. I'm sorry, I should have put NLT. Let me try this again. NLT. And I may even go into the amplified AMP. And the good news, which in the Old Testament is glad tidings, New Testament is gospel, which means good news about the kingdom, will be preached throughout the whole world so that all nations will hear it, and then the end will come. Got all kind of nations talking about Israel, the whole Hebrew Israelite thing. It's not talking about Christianity. Christianity didn't span throughout the whole world a long time ago. So let's come on back to the King James. I'm going to kind of be a little all over the place. Okay, let me see here. All right. So gospel, euangelion, which means good news, glad tidings. Kingdom, as kingdom set for Israel, shall be preached. Let me let you hear it.
Strong's G 2784. Caruso.
There's a singer named Caruso. Let's go open it up. Caruso. To be a herald. Now the word herald is another word for prophet. To officiate as a herald or a prophet. To proclaim. To make a claim on something. Proclaim meaning to make the claim in advance, after the manner of a herald or a prophet, always with the suggestion of formality, gravity, and an authority which must be listened to and obeyed. To publish, right? Publish is to make, is to bring it out to the people. Proclaim openly something which has been done, use of the public proclamation of the gospel and matters pertaining to it, made by John the Baptist, by the Yahushai, by the apostles, and other Christian teachers, Israelite teachers that believe in the Messiah. Okay. Let me go into the word world. This is more of a various topics. I'm just going with the spirit. The spirit's taking me in another direction. I'm sorry. Let me do this. World. Let's look up the word. Okay, world is the whole planet Earth. Oikumeni. Not just Israel. This is for the whole. This is for all the nations. Because we're telling the nations they're going into captivity. We're going to be over them. We're going to teach them the laws. It's not like we're going to just beat the shit out of the nations all day, every day. We're going to teach them the laws. And they're going to be up under us. Let's look up the word nations. Ethnos. Ethnos is a general term for any people. You have ethnic food. Somebody says, let's have some ethnic food. Your response would be, what ethnic food do you want? Or you want Italian, Spanish, Indian, Chinese, Japanese, Greek, American, hamburgers and hot dogs, steak and potatoes. That's what it means. So this gospel that we're teaching is to the Israelites and to the other nations. So anyway, we come over here. Let me close this. I'm just going to go with the spirit. I wanted to go into this guy, what's his name? Pastor. Oh, I'm sorry. Back to the subject, and then we'll go to Pam. So the subject dealt with second Esdras Chapter 15 and other topics. Okay, so now I'm just going to play this. And as soon as he said this, when he started saying this, he started speaking. I didn't even watch this whole video, just about up to about this point. Maybe not even a minute in or so. Not even a minute in. I immediately thought about the time of Jacob's trouble, Daniel 12:1, Jeremiah 30 verse 7, 2 Esdras 15:16. So just listen.
When I tell you that people are literally losing their mind over the fact that we could see a pause in food snaps, EBT assistance programs coming November 1st, they are saying that they're going to get out there and loot the streets. Some of them are saying that
that makes sense. And this could be a psyop. This could be a thing. Let's see what they do when they don't got no food. You know? This guy Nero, he brings a lot of chaos. He knows chaos is coming. Then you're gonna go into the blame game. I think they work together. The plebeians and the patricians work together. You got Don Lemonhead talking about get guns. That's a slaughter. You're getting guns to fight against people that have trained in war. The mayor Johnson in Chicago, he said the same thing. So they work together. They all work together. Control opposition. Look that word up. Yeah, this guy he went after. He's going after everybody. He's starting wars all over the place. Went after Venezuela. Now all of a sudden he's going after Colombia, the president, under the premise that you guys are bringing drugs to the country. And stupid Babylonians believe this guy. You got some stupid people on this planet. I mean, in this country.
They're going to go house to house if the government does not give them their money to mind over the fact that we could see a pause in food snaps or EBT assistance programs coming November 1st. They're saying that they're going to get out there and loot the streets. Some of them are saying that they're going to go house to house if the government does not give them their money to have free food. A lot of them are just concerned with how they're going to feed their family, but I can tell you that the Trump administration almost in no way will allow this to happen. They're already...
You got this guy, you got Alex Bones Jones, Skull and Bones Jones, taking the side of Trump. And there's no way you should be taking the side of Trump or any of them. You should really, expose the system, saying that this is two-sided, two sides to the eagle. Right wing, left wing, that is connected to the bird. So for like Alex Skull and Bones Jones to kind of say good things about this guy like he knows he's doing, no, you control opposition. All you guys are control opposition. Don Lemon, Johnson, all of y'all.
Turning around to say that maybe we will see the Democrats come to saying that they're going to get out there and loot the streets. Some of them are saying that they're going to go house to house if they.
That's when I thought about Second Esdras 15 and Second Esdras 16. So we'll go through that.
Government does not give them their money to have free food. A lot of them are.
And I believe it's going to happen to create a panic, so they can send more troops in. Well, he's set up. He's a front man. He's like Phil Green from the casino, the front guy.
Are just concerned with how they're going to feed their family, but I can tell you that the Trump administration almost in no way will allow this to happen.
No, he's saying Trump is going to come to the rescue. Trump is behind it, man.
They're already turning around to say that maybe we will see the Democrats come to the negotiating table this week. But let me tell you, if they do let this happen, if something pushes...
And so you can understand, let's see if it's still up here. Give me a second. Let me see if I can, if it's under this. Okay, I'm looking up what is a bed winch. Because we will have bed winches in the kingdom. Give me a second here. Try one more. Let me see what's going on. Okay, I don't want this. I asked the question to Google a list of government shutdowns. The last government shutdown was 35 days, so we're talking a month. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me just do this. Give me a second here. Go back to Google. so I can give you the information. A list of government shutdowns. Okay, I don't like. Okay, this is why did they giving it to me this way? Shutdowns, funding gaps, timeline. U.S. government shutdowns last 50 years. Let's try that one. Let's try that. List of all 21 government shutdowns in U.S. history. Okay, so let's try that one. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, border wall shutdown. This was 2018, 2019. The government was shut down for 35 days. It should say that. Let me do this. Come back this way. A list of U.S. government shutdowns. Okay, the most significant shutdown includes the 35-day shutdown of 2018 to 2019 during the first presidency of Donald Trump. So this is a month and 5 days, caused by a dispute over expanding barriers on the U.S.-Mexico border. The 21-day shutdown of 1995 to 1996 during Bill Clinton's administration over opposition to major spending cuts. So that was 21 days, 35 days, 16 days. And this one, we don't know what's going to happen. But let's say it's a month. But look, the last major shutdown was over a month and 5 days. Under whose watch? Donald Trump. So here we go to another shutdown. There's going to be a panic. So we don't know if they're going to open it up before the shutdown. He's going to come to the rescue, whatever the case may be. But let's say there's a complete shutdown, or they cut the stamp partial shutdown. Well, it is a shutdown. We're in a shutdown. But so we'll see. But if it happens for an extended, people panic quickly. You know, the first, I believe that's when you get your stamps and your government, whatever. So when you go to, get your stamps or your card, because they put it on your card, you call an 800 number or whatever, and they tell you how much. If you don't got it, you call them and find out what's going on. So they're going to panic. Now this is a month where need to grows. They get ready for Thanksgiving. That Jake gets into Thanksgiving. I don't care how much you tell them about they being the Israelites. They gotta have them that Thanksgiving. So anyway, I just wanted to cover that. Let's listen to this again. Fair use.
That people are literally losing their mind over the fact that we could see a pause in food stamps or EBT assistance programs coming November 1st. They are saying that they're going to get out there and loot the streets.
Talking about in 10 days, a week and change.
Some of them are saying that they're going to go house to house if the government does not give them their
Second Ezra 15 came to mind. Second Ezra 16 came to mind.
money to have free food. A lot of them are just concerned with how they're going to feed their family, but I can tell you that the Trump administration almost in no way will allow this to happen. They're already turning around to say that maybe we will see the...
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll come back to you. As Yashawan out of the West says, he calls this guy Skeletor. So we'll see Skeletor.
Democrats come to the negotiating table this week. But let me tell you, if they do let this happen, something...
Yeah, Yashawan out of Cali. His page is the new song bar. Satan's fall like lightning. And he calls this, he features this guy. He calls him Skeletor, which he looks like Skeletor with a beard.
Pushes Donald Trump to go ahead and let food stamps go into a pause.
And it's going to affect these red hatters. They get food. That's a known fact. Let me do this. Let me go back to the Google. Y'all say Google, I say the Google. Come on now. People that receive food stamps by race. Okay, let's fudge the numbers here. Okay, all people that you niggas in the food stamps, all y'all do is get food stamps. Trump called Obama the food stamp president. Well, he's the food stamp president too, because it's 40 some odd percent of the people, the population get food stamps, and Obama was about the same thing, 40, 45 or so. So they started calling him the food stamp president. Well, guess what? You were the new food stamp president. It said people of all races receive food stamps, SNAP, with the largest percentage of participants identifying as white. Over 30, that's a big number. Over 35%, followed by African Americans over 26%, and Hispanics over 16%. Now, a lot of Hispanics can't get it because they're not legal in this country. So they got to bust their ass. A significant portion of participants, about 16%, are listed as race unknown. What is that, like aliens from another planet? But there you go. Snaps in this country, the biggest number is 35%. 35%. Wow. Population of white people in America.
212 million, 2023.
We're going to lose that race war, y'all. You better think about that race war. Anyway, 35%. Damn, that's a lot of fucking people. Let me see, 212 million. That's 60. We're talking like 60 million, 60 million Edomites. That's a lot of fucking Edomites. 60 million Edomites, man. And don't be surprised if it thing goes through that Edomites still get it, but Jake don't get it. Don't be surprised. So let's go ahead and listen. 60, something like 66 million Edomites get food stamps.
State, people are going to lose their mind.
Mainly Edomites. Mainly Edomites. Unless, like I said, don't be surprised if you find out these Edomites in the rural South and the Bible Belt that get their food stamps. They're gonna be just fine. You know, it's a racist move. That somebody gonna break the story that white people are getting their food stamps. You so-called blacks and Latinos aren't. See, we look at everything like now we broke down all the scriptures. Now we're into analyzing things and filtering things through the scriptures. So I'm gonna filter this whole story through 2nd Esdras 15.
You will have riots in the streets. You will have
You have riots in the streets right now. In Chicago, in Portland, in Seattle.
massive amounts of looting. You will have people getting smoked out in public. This is because we have born and raised an entitled community to believe that this would...
Entitled community, meaning approximately 66 million white people. 66 million white people, according to the information. Let me come back to it. There's 212 million white people. United States white people population. 35% receive food stamps. That's 60 plus million people. So when he says entitled, he's thinking about Jake is some Edomites. Let me bring this back.
Amounts of looting. You will have...
See, we're forecasters. What is a forecaster? I'll tell you what's going to be forecast. For goes to the front and cast means to throw it in the front, right? Forecast is another way of prophesying. We're prophesying. We're spiritual forecasters. So we're telling you what's going to happen. GMS been telling you about the concentration camps. We've been telling you about the MOTB. And then you know what could happen? They can cut the MOTB, the stamps for a certain amount of time, and then they can reset the system, and that you got to get some digital ID because we don't want no fraud. But then that's going to lead to the MOTB too as well. Anything that you do in the coming future, you're going to have the MOTB, the mark of the beast.
Have people getting smoked out.
And if you teach otherwise, you're a false prophet. If you teach that the mark of the beast is sin in all of its forms, whether it be religious or political, you're a false prophet. If you teach that it's talking about sleeping with white women, you're a false prophet. If you teach that it's an embargo, you're a false prophet. The right way to break that down is the way GMS has been breaking it down.
Out in public. This is because we have born and raised an entitled community to believe that this...
60 plus million white people are on food stamps. Okay? almost 70 million white people of European descent, mostly Edomites, some mixed Jake. They're on food stamps.
Would never happen. Things are about to get hard for us, so let's go ahead and watch some people freaking out.
Why the fuck we gotta starve on Thanksgiving? Are you dead ass, Pumpkin Man?
They should feature. I bet they're gonna feature. He gonna feature all black people. Watch. Could be wrong. We'll see. Matter of fact, let me do this. Okay, all black women. White people are gonna be freaking all black women. Well, this guy's a racist. Okay, white. I think that's a white woman. So let's go ahead and watch. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Like, yo, it's just like you gotta like. Why the fuck there's no ABC next month? Why the fuck November though? It couldn't be January, Feb, March. What?
All right.
She's not even from the country. I don't know where she's from. Marche. There goes Nero.
Let's move forward. We've got some other people talking about it.
Widely protested president in U.S. history. In causes and frequency and political polarization, he holds the record hands down. No other president in U.S. history has brought this country to its knees in such short a span as Donald Trump had.
So I live in a 10-story apartment building, and I only pay $50 in rent. Does that make you angry? Does that make you shiver in your boots? Does that make you want to punch me in my face?
And I bet you she's late every month too. I bet you she's late with their $50. I bet you.
I pay $50 for a 2-bedroom for my family of 6.
Now watch this next part as
Now that the family of 6, she got no man. She got a guy that she sees here and there, and the kids are from maybe 3 or 4 different baby daddies. Black woman is a complete fucking embarrassment, man.
she effed around with this video, and then she started to find out.
Does that make... So because of that video I made of my family of... So because of that video I made of my family of 7 living in a 2-bedroom apartment and me only paying $50, somebody on here was so miserable to go report me that now they gave me an eviction notice for 30 days. So now I need a lawyer.
You're not getting a lawyer. First of all, if you can afford a lawyer, you can afford to pay.
This guy's a fucking racist. This guy, he's a racist. Ain't nothing wrong with being a racist, but he's a racist. See, that's the thing about you Edomites. You say you're not a racist, and you're a racist. Hebrew Israelites are racist. Yes, we are. Guess what? The Most High is racist. The Heavenly Father hates. The Heavenly Father and his beloved Son, Yahushua, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, is a racist too. How can I prove that? When he went before Herod was Edomite, was happy to see the Lord. The Lord looked at him like he owed him money.
Pay your freaking rent. Second of all, you were mocking the American people by saying...
Now that means that she had probably a man in there, or maybe some kids that were over 18 that were required to be listed if they get, Section 8 or whatever. If you had a man living there, they can evict you based upon that. Now, if they were six kids, even if you're paying $50, and that's all you bring in so much, you might got a side job or whatever the case may be. So she had to have maybe a man and maybe some kids that are over 18. So we don't know the whole backstory. Because if she just had, 6 kids from the ages of 1 to 8, they can't do nothing.
And are you shivering in your boots because this person is only paying $50
And another thing about you sisters, you plumb dumb, you stupid. You're a bunch of stupid asses.
month for their rent, while you and me, we're paying what, $1,800, $2,200, $2,300 a month for rent or mortgage payments across this country. She deserves the figurative slap in the face that she got here. I hope that she gets blacklisted from all of these assistance programs.
You Edomites do it more so than Jake. There's Edomites out there paying $25 a month, and they late with their rent. $50 a month, $100 a month. They late with their rent. They got to scramble to get their rent. They got to pick up bottles and go to the supermarket and redeem the bottles.
Because she was not a person in need. No, she was a person in greed.
Thanks to y'all taxpayers that are so mad that you're paying my $50 in rent for my 2-bedroom apartment for a family of 7. I don't know how y'all even found out where I live. It's a 10-story apartment building. Y'all found out.
Seems to me like maybe the legs and the mouth should stay shut on this woman. All right, let's move on forward. We have Donald Trump signing a mineral deal with the Australian Prime Minister.
And then we'll take some questions.
See what you put this guy in office. You red hatters. You put him in office, and he's not doing anything. He's making big deals. He's rubbing elbows with the super rich. He had a meeting where he invited these top billionaire tech people. His concern is his super rich friends, his super rich buddies, not the average American. Which over 200 million of y'all are Edomites. They live worse than Jake. Anyway, let's go to the scripture. So we got 10 days to find out what's going to happen, whether they're going to open the government or keep it closed. Okay. Give me a second here. Let me do it this way. 2nd Ezra 15. Okay, let's we're not going to read the whole thing. We'll try to read the whole thing, or we'll jump around. That's 63 verses. I mean, this is coming to pass. Jacob's trouble. Behold, speak thou the ears of my speak. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, which are the Israelites, the words of prophecy, but rather that ye prophesy, which I will put in thy mouth. I will put in thy mouth. So the Most High didn't say teach the way you want to teach. He's gonna give you open up your eyes, give you the eye salve to break these precepts down and to teach the people, not add your own thing to it. Saith Yahweh. So there's no excuse for like a guy named like Bishop Nathaniel to buck up against the way we breaking it down, because Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai open our eyes to see it. And maybe because you're full of pride or whatever the case may be, this means that you're not a prophet, because you failed to eat the whole roll, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Every word is faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee. That's these Israelites that come against us. Now they doing that. You got the elder out of North Carolina. He goes to TikTok. I say TikTok. He puts up videos of different Jakes, talking bad about the whole Hebrew Israelite thing. So that's them. It said, fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the unbelief or incredulity of them, the Israelites that come against you, trouble thee that speak against thee. Don't worry about them. But put them up to show this is what these Jakes think about us. Hey, IUIC had no business going down to the 2819 church. That's the second time they went down there. The scriptures don't tell you keep going around until they get it. The Most High never told them to do a church blitz. That's what he did. That's what he did. He doing his will. Romans 16, 17, and 18. Somebody can read that or put it in the chat. For all the unfaithful among Israelites shall die in their unfaithfulness. They're going to get that chip and they're going to die one way or another. Unless you're living, like I said, if you're living in the South America, you never got this truth, you're going to be visited by the prophets of the Lord, and you're going to be told that you're Israelites. And if you buck up against it, we're going to zap you. Because we're going to put this earth in order. And there's going to be a lot of heads rolling too. And we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to the head rolling. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. That's what's happening. Check out the news. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. Whose wickedness? Israel's wickedness, which they profanely means basically outside the temple. See, they did things that inside the temple. The two sons of Eli, they did things inside the temple, which was against doing in the temple. That's where you get the word profane. The thing that you're doing in the temple, you popping women in the temple, you're supposed to do it. You pop a woman outside the temple. You don't go in the temple and have sex. To give you an example, right? Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just, the righteous, complain continually. So we're complaining continually. Then the spirits that died in the past, they're complaining too. That's Revelation chapter 6. And therefore saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them. Who? The men of the Lord, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Remember, Esau wore out the saints of the Most High. So they're going to have to pay for it. And not one Israelite's going to burn in hell. Not one Edomite's going to burn in hell, because there's no such thing as hell. That's another false doctrine brought to you by Bishop Nathaniel, the false prophet. Black Serapis. Behold, my people is laid as a flock to the slaughter, led as a flock. This is Old English. As a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. This land, it's not talking about ancient Egypt. It's not talking about Mizraim. It's talking about Babylon the Great. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Babylon with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. The whole land's going to be destroyed, the desert. See, we pretty much know this chapter by heart. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. Because the Most High is going to start bringing plagues on this place, and ultimately the fulfillment of this place being utterly destroyed. They that till the ground shall mourn, the farmers, for their, this guy did a deal with Argentina. He gave the Argentinian president, he gave him 20 billion. Now he's talking about wasteful spending. You're taking taxpayers' money and giving it to another nation. Then he made a deal that they're going to start buying beef from Argentina, which is going to cut the throats of farmers in America. So he don't give a damn about the average working class citizen. They that till the ground shall mourn, cry, for their seed shall fail through the blasting in hell, and with a fearful constellation. Yeah, the farmers will get an almanac, and it'll tell you the way the stars are set up, and it'll tell you if you're going to have a good crop or not. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another people. That's civil war, and swords in their hands. Modern day swords are guns. And the guy and Skeletor just told you that. Go and watch Skeletor again. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. He said that they're going to go on the streets. They're going to go to house. They're going to loot stores. They're going to lose it. And that's what Nero wants. So he can bring more troops in. For there shall be, which is what is it, the what is it, the Insurrection Act? Insurrection Act. Let's look that up. He's got those troops in there under. This is the troops in American cities among citizens is violating the Posse Comitatus Act. The only way you can bring, it was a loophole. The only way you can bring the troops in among citizens is through the. Let me go ahead and look it up so you can get it. The Insurrection Act. The Insurrection Act.
According to en.wikipedia.org, the Insurrection Act of 1807 is the U.S. federal law that empowers the President of the United States to nationally deploy the U.S. military and to federalize the National Guard units of the individual states in specific circumstances, such as the suppression of civil disorder, of insurrection, and of armed rebellion.
Such as, so this is this is a loophole around the Posse Comitatus Act, meaning that the city is out of control, so we got to send in the forces. It says, okay, the Insurrection Act of 1807 is the U.S. Federal law that empowers the President of the United States, it goes right to the President, to nationally deploy the U.S. military and to federalize the National Guard. Because the National Guard is state. You have New York National Guard, Jersey National Guard. Federalized meaning we're taking New York National Guard and we're sending them over there to California. Or 5 National Guard states, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Delaware, whatever. And we're going to send them out to the Midwest because all hell is breaking loose. So that's the loophole around the Posse Comitatus Act. This is to come against the citizens, National Guard units of the individual states. I just said that in specific circumstances, all hell is breaking loose, such as the suppression of civil disorder or insurrection and an armed rebellion. That's why they said we got to send troops into Chicago because it's chaos out there. So let's look up the word insurrection. Matter of fact, what am I doing? Let's look up the word insurrection. So if they are to cut the stamps and all hell breaks loose, they looting stores, they busting into people's houses, that's an insurrection. Insurrection meaning. Insurrection. A violent uprising against an authority or government. Let me read that again. A violent uprising against authority or government. That's when the civilians come against the government. That's why you have an insurrection act. All hell is breaking loose. So now let me see here. Okay, so I'm sorry, let me do this. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. Civil War. They came out with a movie, Civil War, and that's what they're talking about. Don Lemon said, "Get guns and shoot them. When they come to your house, shoot." He's an insider. He's a controlled opposition. That's like your mother saying, if you're a gangbanger, if the cop pull you over, just blast their asses. Well, you're going to get yourself killed. Okay, 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, the government authorities, and the course of their actions shall be in their power. So they're going to overpower some of these authorities. It says, for there shall be sedition. Sedition. Let's look up the word sedition. You don't have to pick up arms or hurt anybody to be charged with sedition. I'm going to tell you what sedition is. Now, when you go to the history and you ask why was Peter, the Apostle Peter and the Apostle Paul put to death, they're not going to say sedition, but that's exactly why they were put to death. They were guilty of sedition, but they don't say that. So let's go ahead and we'll go into that. Sedition meaning. Sedition meaning conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authorities of the state or monarch. Conduct or speech inciting people. So if you say something, oh, well, Don Lemon said get guns and blow them away. When they come to the door, blow them away. That's sedition. To incite somebody to rebel against the authorities. He's definitely on the payroll, bro. So that's why we have Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And you're not to get involved in this in any way. Just trust in the Most High. Just come on back. So let me read this again. For there shall be sedition. I just gave you the definition of the word sedition. Among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, which is a government, nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Because you got a lot of former military that's going to be on the side of the people. So that's civil war right there. See, we say race wars is going to be more of a civil war, because they're going to be looking to the government. So you're going to have Edomites, Red Hatters. They're going to come against their kings and princes. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, because they're going to be looting. They're going to be taking your cars. They're going to be taking, they're going to pull you over. You got groceries. You're going to take that shit. Their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, because when you run out of food, you're desperate. So the person, your next door neighbor that you've been knowing for 25 years, all of a sudden he becomes an enemy to you. But shall destroy their houses with the sword, the gun, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Time of Jacob's trouble, tribulation. I'm going to read no more. But you really gotta read this whole chapter. So if you're wondering how is this going to come to pass, this second Esdras 15, well, now you can see it. You didn't see it 20 years ago. You see it now. Government shutdown, no food stamps, no Section 8, no nothing. Now all hell's going to break loose. And they know that. And more troops got to be brought in under the what? Insurrection. Under the Insurrection Act, we're going to send the troops up in there. Civil war. Military fighting against the citizens. He put a Nero 47 put up a AI, and now that's him. He put that up. AI, or the people protesting him, and he's shitting on them. This guy don't give a shit. He don't give a fuck. Now I'm thinking he might be fucking Caligula. Caligula was worse than way worse than Nero. But I believe he's Nero. Them are the two worst ones. Let me go into this here. Let me ask this question. How did Caligula die?
According to PBS, his behavior was making Caligula seriously unpopular among Rome's elite. Plots against his life soon became commonplace. In 41 AD, 4 months after he returned from Gaul, he was murdered by his closest advisors, including members of his Praetorian Guard. To prevent reprisals, they also killed his wife and daughter.
They said get the whole family. That's what I wanted to hear. The Praetorian Guard. Let me do this. Let me do this here. I can say it. I don't gotta copy and paste. There goes Nero, a big head Nero. There goes Nero right there. Give me a second. A big head Nero, same haircut. These are different busts of Nero. Evil people. Nero's father. Okay, let me see here. Let me do this. Give me a second here. How can I phrase this? How many Caesars were killed by the Praetorian Guard? The Praetorian Guard killed 10 Roman. Woo! See, the Praetorian Guard represents the elite of the military of Rome. So when you had like Caligula, he was out of pocket. He was a madman. So what did they do? They had set him up to kill him. He said the Senate wanted him killed. And just to be on the safe side, they killed his wife and his daughter. They said the Praetorian Guard killed 10 Roman emperors. I didn't know it was that much. Caligula, Galba, Otho, he was part of the year of the 4 emperors. He was the first one. The Praetorian Guard took him out. And Otho killed himself because he knew that they were going to take him out. Pertinax, Didius, Julianus, Elagabalus, Maximius, Trax, whatever. I'm not even going to try to read all these words. The guard played a significant role in Roman politics. The Guard, the Praetorian Guard, right? Played a significant role in Roman politics, assassinating emperors they deem unfit and frequently installing their own chosen successor. Does it sound like somebody we know? They assassinated emperors they deemed unfit and frequently installed their own chosen successors, family members, and friends. Emperor Constantine the Great finally dissolved the Praetorian Guard, so the Praetorian Guard was Jake. In 312 AD, after the Battle of the Milvian Bridge. Give me a second. So they said Caligula was out of pocket. So it was a military that took him out. They said, we're going to take this guy out. They worked with the Senate. What was I going to say? How did Emperor Nero die? Suicide.
According to Wikipedia, the Free Encyclopedia, when the Roman senator Vindex rebelled, with support from the eventual Roman Emperor Galba, Nero was declared a public enemy and condemned to death in absentia. He fled Rome and on the 9th of June AD 68 committed suicide. His death sparked a brief period of civil war known as the Year of the Four Emperors.
The Year of the Four Emperors. Galba was the first. He got put to death in less than inside of a year. What was the other one? Galba. Otho, he killed himself. Some people said he had a dream that he killed himself and he woke up and killed himself. Others said that he feared that the Praetorian Guard was going to get him, so he said, "I'm gonna beat you guys to the punch. I'm gonna kill myself." Nero did the same thing. Vitellius, he would put to death, according to scholars, historians, by the Praetorian Guard, but the main guy behind it was Vespasian. He wanted him to be put to death because these guys were sitting next to each other, but they were plotting against each other. When the Roman senator Vindex rebelled with support from the eventual Roman emperor Galba, Nero was declared a public enemy and condemned to death in absentia, which means they ruled that he to be put to death, but he didn't show up, right? You have a trial in absentia, meaning the guy's supposed to show up for trial. He doesn't show up, so you can have the trial without him, which is called an absentia, being absent. So they found him guilty. They said what? Nero was declared a public enemy and condemned to death in absentia. He fled Rome and on 9 June AD 68 committed suicide. His death sparked a brief period of civil war known as the Year of the Four Emperors. And he was put to death. Let me go back to him. The same people that he worked with to take out Nero, they took him out. Give me a second. And this is all mentioned in the Apocrypha, in the second Esdras 11 and 12. Galba assassination. Remember, he was behind taking out Nero, and he wound up getting taken out. And he was working with the Praetorian Guard. It says Otho was furious. Otho came after Galba. He gained the support of the Praetorian Guard, the military, the elite military forces, took out these guys. So who had the real power? The emperors of Rome didn't always have the power. It was the military. They were the ones that smashed things up. So if they didn't like a particular emperor, they took him out. Who assassinated both let me read this again. Otho was furious. He gained the support of the Praetorian Guard, who assassinated both Galba and Piso just 7 months after Galba had been named emperor. Now it was Otho's turn to rule. He became emperor in January of 69 AD, but events were already moving against him. And people were talking about this is the end of Rome. The Roman Empire is dead. So when the Flavian dynasty came into power, they had to build the people up. And one of the things that they did was they built the Flavian Ample Center, which is the Colosseum. Okay. Let me see something. How did Emperor Galba die? I want to go to which one was, where is he? Otho. Let's go to Otho, and then then I'm gonna finish with that. And this is why none of these camps can break down Second Esdras. This is why High Priest Ariel and the seven never went into Second Esdras. Second Esdras chapter 11 and Second Esdras chapter 12. They called a meeting, and I was in that meeting, and General Johanna was in that meeting, that they were trying to figure out how to break it down. Mosai didn't give it to him at that time. Mosai gave it to us when we was up there in Connecticut. It was myself, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ricard, Apostle Ramlab, and the bishops. Mainly it was the Spirit was on me more so, because I did this little documentary thing, so somebody caught it. I'm pretty sure certain brothers that could break it down watched that documentary because I put it on YouTube. But they took down that site. Anyway, let's deal with this. Suicide. On 16 April 69 AD, one day after the battle, Otho committed suicide by stabbing himself with a dagger, stating that he could die more honorably than he could reign. His death ended the war and cleared the path for Vitalis to assume undisputed control of the empire. Vitalis was put to death. Let's go look at Vitalis. So you can see the character. This guy, hey, that's why they had a no king's day, because he's sitting up as a king. But guess what? He is a king. That's Nero. See, he doesn't know that he's Nero. Now look at that. Now I said he's the only one. I believe he's the first. He's really the first Jake that became an emperor. Because I'm surprised that certain busts of him. There was one bust where matter of fact, let me do this. See, they got him like this, but there was one bust where he looked just like a Jake. Okay, let me do this one. Let me check this one out. See the hair? He looked like a damn Edomite. Straight up Edomite. But there's one that he looked just like a Jake. Let me tell about this one. Yeah, he was obese. He was fat. Like I said, here we go. I believe this is it. Okay, this is Vitalis. Now that's a Jake. Vitalis. So Vitalis had to be a Jake. That's when Jake was coming up in power. You see how the nose was chopped off? But I believe Otho was a Jake too. That's when Jake started coming into power. They had seats on the council. They were councilmen and they were senate. And then the leaders of the Praetorian Guard, the top leaders, had to be Jake. So Jake was like, look, we over them. We pushing them out. But here goes. That's Vitalis. But they got him looking Edomized. I'm sorry. Let me do this. Look at that. It clearly chopped that nose off. You see the shape of his head? His hair is not straight. There's another likeness of him. It's clearly a Jake. So whoever chopped the nose off, they said, oh, we got to chop the nose off because they're going to start saying that the Roman emperors were black too, which they were. So it really started with Vitalis. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom on to the next shalom.